Some of the objects, structures, and artifacts uncovered by archaeologists around the world are downright baffling. Usually, solving these kinds of ancient puzzles is just a matter of persistence and research. Dig long enough, study hard enough, and the truth eventually emerges. But every now and then, something turns up that refuses to make sense. No matter how many theories are thrown at it, these are the rare cases that remain wide open, stubbornly unsolved. And in this video, we're looking at 15 of the most unsolved archaeological mysteries scientists still can't explain. Number 15. Tucson artifacts. In 1924, Charles E. Menier found something bizarre near Tucson, metal artifacts buried in the dirt, including crosses, blades, and religious-looking relics. Collectively known as the Tucson artifacts, or the Tucson crosses, the find consists of 31 objects that sparked instant controversy. The most baffling among them is a sword engraved with what resembles a dinosaur. That detail alone has fueled decades of debate. If these artifacts really date back to the 8th century, as some claim, then the dinosaur image doesn't belong, unless someone back then had knowledge they shouldn't have. Critics point to poorly written Latin on some of the items and call the whole discovery a hoax. But there are still believers. People who argue these objects prove that Judeo-Christian settlers made it to Arizona over 1,000 years ago. No one's been able to fully debunk or verify the artifacts, and that's what keeps them relevant. Whether they're ancient or historical fabrications, the Tucson artifacts still raise questions no one can answer. Number Veer Sen. Siberian death mask. In 1968, a warrior's burial was unearthed in Siberia's Tuva Republic. His face was sealed in a clay death mask, a common funerary practice among ancient Tagar people. But in 2020, detailed scans revealed something no one expected. The skull inside wasn't human, it was a ram's. Why would a decorated warrior be buried with the bones of an animal where his head should be? Some archaeologists believe he may have lost his head in battle or due to an accident, and the ram's skull was used in its place to complete burial rituals. Among the Tagar, honoring the body for the afterlife mattered deeply, and perhaps this was their solution to a problem no one planned for. Death masks typically preserve human remains, but this case stands alone. It's not just about what they buried, it's about what they didn't have and how they chose to honor the fallen anyway. One warrior, one mask, and a mystery that still stands over 2,000 years later. Number 13. Ozun Osogbo Sacred Grove. In Osogbo, Nigeria, tucked within dense forest, lies the sacred grove of Osun Osogbo, a spiritual site dedicated to Osun, the Yoruba goddess of fertility. This grove is one of the last surviving sacred spaces built by the Yoruba and remains deeply tied to their traditions. Sculptures of human and hybrid figures line the riverbanks and trails, each carved with detail that reflects a belief system rooted in both the natural and supernatural worlds. The Osun River runs through the grove, and women once came here to bathe in its waters, hoping to boost fertility under the protective gaze of the goddess. The site is not just religious, it's cultural history carved into a living forest. What makes it especially mysterious are the non-human forms among the carvings. No one agrees on what they represent. Spirits, ancestors, deities from even older belief systems. Despite being officially recognized and preserved, much about the grove's deeper meanings has faded with time. It remains a place of faith and unsolved questions. Number 12. Edinburgh Castle Sips Deep Well. Edinburgh Castle stands tall over Scotland's capital, but one of its most overlooked features lies deep below, an ancient well that plunges over 100 feet into the volcanic rock. First blocked by Robert the Bruce's forces in 1313, the well was restored and then buried again during later conflicts. It has served the castle through sieges and centuries, reappearing and disappearing in the chaos of war. During a 1912 survey, Scottish architect William Thomas Oldreive explored its depths and found cannonballs, uniform buttons, coins, and even a brass token dated to 1795. Fast forward to 2018, and a modern digital scan turned up more oddities, including a plastic skeleton toy. Despite all the historic drama tied to the castle, this well has quietly collected forgotten objects from every era. Once part of the ruined David's Tower, the well is now seen as a time capsule, its contents offering glimpses into daily life, battle, and even children's games across hundreds of years inside Scotland's most storied fortress. Alight, guys, now let's talk about Number Undeshi Getty Ruins. Hidden within the forests near Malindi, Kenya, the Getty ruins tell the story of a lost coastal town that thrived and then vanished. What stands today are the remnants of homes, a palace, a mosque, and even evidence of indoor plumbing, flushing toilets, and all dating back to the 13th century. This was no isolated tribal village. Venetian glass, Chinese porcelain, and intricate coral brick architecture suggest that Getty was part of a wide-reaching trade network. Despite its sophistication, there's no clear record of who lived there, why they left, or how a city so advanced could fall into obscurity. The town's abandonment is a mystery. No signs of war, famine, or natural disaster have ever been found. It's as if the people simply walked away. Sites like Getty challenge outdated views of Africa's past, showing instead a picture of a thriving, connected society. Whatever the reason for its desertion, Getty stands as a powerful reminder that not all ruins were left behind by failing civilizations. Some just disappeared on their own terms. Number 10. Enigmatic tablets. Across parts of Europe, especially near Lake Garda in Italy, archaeologists have found over 300 mysterious stone and terracotta tablets. Dating from 2100 to 1400 BCE, they're all etched with carefully incised lines, circles, crosses, and dots. Now, the crazy thing is that no two tablets are exactly the same, yet recurring patterns suggest some kind of shared system. The real kicker is that no one can agree on what the symbols mean. Some say they're talismans. Others claim they're part of a rudimentary language or even tokens used in trade before coinage existed. A few researchers have even suggested they were records, possibly notes from early census takers. An international team is now scanning and analyzing them in 3D to spot connections across different regions. They're trying to match patterns, align morphologies, and maybe finally decode whatever message these ancient hands carved into stone. For now, though, the tablets hold on to their silence, just geometric figures on clay quietly keeping their secrets. Number 9. Labyrinthine tunnels. In 1916, beneath the Dobruja Plateau, straddling now Romania and Bulgaria, archaeologists uncovered a vast network of underground tunnels. At first, it was the usual mix of pottery and broken ceramics. Then came painted walls, ancient Greek and Roman graffiti. Deeper still, a sprawling maze of hand-carved passages and chambers. Over 12,000 feet of underground corridors had been carved entirely by hand. No machines, no shortcuts, just pure, relentless effort. Some rooms had frescoes, others opened into small vault-like spaces, resembling bunkers or sanctuaries. Carbon dating and material studies suggest the network was built more than 2,000 years ago and remained in use until the 10th century. No historical records mention it. No clear purpose has been confirmed. Was it for shelter, worship, storage? No one knows. But the labor it took is undeniable. Beneath the soil lies a feat of construction that has outlasted empires, silent, hidden, and still holding back the full truth of why it was made at all. Number 8. Sandbyborg Ring Fort. On the Swedish island of Öland, Sandbyborg Ring Fort holds the eerie silence of a place that witnessed something horrific. Excavations began in 2010 and revealed a gruesome scene: entire families killed where they stood, their remains left untouched. Around 1,500 years ago, something or someone wiped out the entire settlement during the migration period, a time of unrest as the Roman Empire collapsed. Bodies were found still inside homes with no effort made to bury the dead. Roman coins, glassware, and arrowheads scattered across the site suggest the victims may have been traders or part of a wealthy community. No fortifications were breached, no signs of fire, just sudden brutal violence frozen in time. Locals have passed down vague warnings about the site for generations, saying the ground is cursed or haunted. Whether that's superstition or inherited memory is up for debate. But standing there today, among stone walls and shattered bones, it's impossible not to feel that something terrible happened and no one ever came back. Alright guys, now from here things are going wild. Number 7. Gympie Pyramid. Just outside the town of Gympie in Queensland stands a hill known to locals for generations, but officially recognized in 1975 as the Gympie Pyramid. Unlike most pyramids, this one's shrouded not just in earth, but in conflicting theories. Some people say it's a terraced structure built by 19th century Italian settlers. Others believe it goes much further back, possibly linked to Polynesian explorers or even ancient Egyptians. The presence of carved stones, a statue resembling the Egyptian god Thoth, and a crocodile carving has all added fuel to the debate. There's also a curious stone head with facial features strikingly similar to the figures of Easter Island. Unfortunately, much of the site was damaged by looters in the 1970s, destroying key evidence that might have told us more. Today, the origin of the Gympie Pyramid remains unresolved. It's either a misunderstood colonial relic or something far older that never made it into the history books. Either way, it's a piece of Australia's past that refuses to give up its story. Number 6. Waterglyphs. Scattered across northern Arizona, southern Utah, and Nevada, over 300 ancient carvings known as waterglyphs have been recorded, and no one's entirely sure what they mean. Each glyph features a circle or oval intersected by a straight line, often carved into desert rock with surprising precision. These markings are believed to be at least 2,000 years old, possibly older. Some researchers think they might be directional markers, leading early travelers to water sources in the arid landscape. Others argue they could have had ceremonial or astronomical significance, possibly linked to the ancestral Pueblones or even the Anasazi. A few glyphs appear to align with solstice points, lending some weight to the theory of a calendar system. Each symbol varies slightly, and the depth of the carvings, ranging from half an inch to a full inch, suggests purposeful design, not random graffiti. Despite decades of research, there's still no consensus on their meaning, origin, or function. These desert etchings remain one of the Southwest's most stubborn archaeological riddles. What do you think about them? Well, let us know. Number 5. Medieval skeleton with boots. While building a new sewer system near Chambers Wharf in Bermondsey, London, workers stumbled onto something strange, a 15th century skeleton face down in the mud. Even stranger, he was still wearing thigh-high leather boots. At that time, boots like those weren't discarded casually. They were expensive, often passed down or reused. These weren't for fashion, they were functional, likely used by someone who spent a lot of time in the river. Archaeologists suspect he was a fisherman or mudlark, someone who worked the Thames shoreline daily. The boots might have been waders, giving him grip and protection on the sticky riverbanks. His body showed signs of hard labor, with worn joints and deep grooves on his teeth, possibly from holding rope. Mola Headland Infrastructure, the group leading the excavation, called it one of the most fascinating finds of the Thames Tideway Tunnel project. A man lost to the river centuries ago, now telling his story through a pair of well-worn boots. Number 4. Gunung Kawi Temple Complex. Hidden among lush greenery near Tampak Siring, Bali, the Gunung Kawi Temple Complex stands as one of the island's most impressive yet least understood historical landmarks. 10 massive shrines carved directly into the cliffside rise over 20 feet tall, and despite their grandeur, no one's entirely certain who built them or why. Many believe they were created in the 11th century, possibly by order of King Anak Wangsu of the Udayana dynasty, as memorials for his family. One shrine bears an inscription, "The king made a temple here." It's not much to go on. Some of the stonework even shows signs of artificial softening during construction, suggesting a method or technology we can't fully explain. While widely assumed to be Hindu in origin, the temples carry a mysterious air that resists tidy classification. Gunkawi isn't just a monument, it's a puzzle etched in stone, layered with stories we may never fully untangle. Time hasn't erased it, but it certainly hasn't revealed its full story either. And maybe it will never. Number 3. Statues of Sekhmet. On the west bank of Luxor, within the ruins of the vast temple of Amenhotep III, archaeologists uncovered 27 statues of the lion-headed goddess Sekhmet, each one carved from solid black granite. These sculptures aren't just beautiful, they're imposing, standing over 6 feet tall and exuding power. Sekhmet was the ancient Egyptian goddess of war and healing, and her statues were likely placed to protect the temple and its sacred grounds. Many show her seated on a throne, clutching the Ankh symbol in her left hand. Considering the difficulty of carving black granite with ancient tools, the precision is jaw-dropping. Some believe the material was chosen for its durability, ensuring Sekhmet's image would outlast generations. The temple itself spans nearly 4 million square feet, an enormous site that's still being excavated today. It's thought to have been heavily damaged by an earthquake over 3,000 years ago, but clearly much still remains. These statues are a reminder of just how advanced and artistic ancient Egyptian civilization truly was. Number 2. The Great Sphinx of Giza. Well, everyone on Earth knows the Sphinx, majestic, ancient, and immovable. But few talk about the hole on top of its head. Old photographs show it clearly, though it's since been sealed, and modern aerial photography over the Giza Plateau is tightly restricted. That alone raises questions. Some researchers, like Robert Schoch, claim seismic tests reveal chambers hidden beneath the statue, potential passageways linking the Sphinx to the Great Pyramid. Egyptologist Zahi Hawass once filmed himself entering a hatch near the monument and finding a stone box some think could be a sarcophagus. Today, Hawass avoids commenting on it. Official statements deny any secret rooms inside, but not everyone is convinced. Theories swirl about ancient records buried beneath or lost technology hidden within. Whatever's below, it's clear not all of it is meant for public view. The Sphinx still watches over Giza as it always has, only now it also guards whatever truth might be buried within its own silent interior. Number 1. Varanasi Temple Discoveries. The Kashi Vishwanath Temple Corridor project in Varanasi was supposed to be a modern upgrade. A good, decent, trendy touch to old. What it turned into was a journey through time. During demolition for the project, crews uncovered a hidden network of ancient temples, some buried beneath homes, others beneath toilets, walls, and modern streets. Among them was a temple from the Samudragupta era, its structure preserved beneath layers of construction. In total, 43 ancient sites were revealed, temples, libraries, and buildings packed with intricate carvings and long-lost history. The government, realizing the scale of what had been hidden, set aside funding to preserve it all. Now the plan includes more than temple access. It may include an entire complex showcasing these rediscovered sites. The goal is to give people a deeper connection to the city's spiritual and architectural heritage. What began as a renovation project has turned into one of the most significant urban archaeological rediscoveries in recent Indian history. We hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon in the next one.